Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Beaver and today I'm going to show you a super easy and quick way to add flavor into your final distillate while keeping it completely clear. Now this trick I learned from my father-in-law, and he uses yogurt flavoring to infuse flavor into his final distillate without compromising the color. So as you can see, this flavoring is a bright orange color. This is peach flavoring used to flavor yogurts, and we're going to use it to flavor our final product, but we're going to keep it absolutely crystal clear and we're not going to have any of this orange color transfer over. So let's quickly jump down and I'm going to show you what we're going to do to be able to get that flavor into our final product without transferring the color. Okay, so over here we've got a bucket of 3 liters of 40% neutral spirit. What we're going to do now is we're going to dose it with our flavoring. Now this flavoring requires between 8 to 10% of the total product to be flavoring. So this is 3 liters, so we're going to need to add 30 mils of flavoring to this batch, stir it up, and then we're going to remove the color. So with the 3 liters of product into the still now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the still and we're just going to redistill this batch, and that's going to transfer the flavor over. So let's quickly get the still all set up, get the run done, and I'll see you guys when we get ready to taste this product, as well as a quick update on the Raisin brandy that went into the barrel exactly a month ago. Okay, so for the run itself, we're going to do it nice and slow, because we're trying to make a flavored vodka over here. So we're going to run it nice and slow. We're going to keep our eyes on the drips. We're going to do exactly the same we do for every other run. We're going to take a small cut of heads. Remember, this is pre-distilled product, so we did our cuts previously, but we're going to do exactly the same here, because funky flavors do tend to come out when you redistill a product. So we're going to taste it periodically to see when the flavor transitions into the flavors we want, and then we're going to take the rest of our cuts. So yeah, we're just going to do a nice and slow run, and I'll see you guys back when we're done doing all our cuts and we can do the tasting. So with the run all done, and I've proofed down the final product to 40%, left it for a couple of hours so all the flavors just melt back together. That's a quick tip. If you're ever going to proof things down, especially by a lot, this came off the still at 85%, so I had to proof it back down to 40% so I can taste it. If you're going to do that, leave it for a good couple of hours, allowing the flavors to melt back together. If you're just going to do a couple of drops of water into a product, yes, the flavor will change, but not as drastically as it would if you do a very big drop in ABV. So rather leave it for a little bit and allow those flavors to drift back together, so there's no harsh funky flavors coming out. You'll immediately taste the difference if you leave it overnight and you come back to it the next day. There will be a massive change in the flavor that you're going to get from the product. So this was left out for a good couple of hours after proofing it down. Now we're going to taste it side by side, but before we do that, what we're going to do is we're just going to have a quick look at the 1 month old Raisin brandy we have in this barrel over here. Just going to do a quick taste like I promised you guys on the previous videos. We'll check on it every month up until we're going to decant it and then proof it down. So as for color, we are starting to get a very nice golden yellow color happening. It's not all the way to the color that we want yet. We are getting a lot of wood impact, and it's starting to smell really nice. Those nice sweet vanillas and caramels coming through. Yeah, it's starting to become a really nice brandy, but it has a couple of months still to go. So we'll check in on it when we are at month 2, and then once we are ready, we'll decant it. Now for the side-by-side comparison, over here we have the distilled product that we put the flavor into and then redistilled it to infuse that flavor. Now a couple of hints while doing the run: if you're going to do this, just wait for your hearts. In the middle of the hearts, you'll start getting a lot of that flavor coming through on the product. Normally in the first part of the run, you're not going to get as much flavor and you might think it's not going to work, but just give it a little bit of time. Here in the middle of the hearts, a lot of the flavor comes through, and then once you combine everything together, you'll see that the flavor actually carries through very nicely. And then over here we just have the standard neutral flavor that we use to put into the still. Added the correct amount of the flavoring, 10%, and then we're going to taste this and see if there's a massive difference between the flavor and if after distilling it we lost a lot of flavor. So first up, the original. So nice and sweet on the nose, you get that peach flavor. Yeah, very sweet, very artificial tasting because of the flavor that we use, the flavoring that we use. It does have that metallic flavor to it. And now for the redistilled version. Now on the redistilled version, the flavor is a lot more subtle on the nose, more as if you were distilling the actual fruit. It is sweet, but not as sickly sweet, not as sugary sweet as the product that we put the flavoring in directly. But as for the taste, that peach flavor shows up immediately. As soon as you taste it, that peach flavor comes through, and it tastes less artificial, less sweet than just adding the flavoring in. So this is closer akin to a flavored vodka than you would if you just added flavoring into the final product. Now this is a super fun technique to play around with, as well as to bump flavors if you're doing something with delicate flavors like strawberries or something like that. If you want to bump your flavor up, just add a little bit of the flavoring in when you are distilling your product into the boiler, and that's going to carry through and heighten the flavors. Now it's a little bit of a cheat, but it works absolutely great. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lucky day.